Welcome to Weirdos of Whimsy, a podcast where we will be discussing all things weird and
You guessed it, whimsical.
whimsical. Did we nail it that time? I don't know.
No.
Trying to be on sync is just
We need to
tough
do this
when
in
you're
person.
not in the same room.
Yeah. 100%.
In person is our vibe.
Lesson learned, guys. So obviously, you know by now, this is our third week of not being in person, which is just weird for us. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like not being in the same room as you. I also don't like it because I physically can't see you as much as we have been. But I digress. Hi, my name is Jacqueline.
And I'm Stevie.
And here we are at our lucky number 13th episode.
13! Oh, we didn't even, we should have done some sort of 13 superstition or something for this episode. Damn.
Literally, took the words out of my mouth. We should have done horror movies and talked about Jason. What the hell were we thinking? However, nonetheless, still going to be a super fun topic for today. And again, I have gone theme. We've both gone theme with the ethereal, beautiful colors.
I also know this is not Greek, but it was the closest thing to gods I had. So.
Yay! And oh my god, what wonderful person got that for you for your birthday?
I wonder who.
So
this
nice.
Was I just had my birthday a week or two ago, and my lovely bestie got this for me.
Oh, yay!
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and announce today's topic, and that is in fact the Greek gods.
Yay!
That was in unison.
When we're not trying to plan
I'm telling you. I also have to tell you, this is the one and only history test that I ever got 100% perfect on. So
I love that.
Listen, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Did you, what about you? When you were doing this in history class, were you like, yep, this is for me? Or were you like, no, lame?
I loved the Greek gods. I did, even in college, one of the extra curricular classes. You know, the one that doesn't have to do anything with what you were taking?
Absolutely. We used to call it
was mythology
class. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I took mythology.
Good for you. See, I took vampires. You took mythology. I mean,
if vampires was a choice, you better believe I would have taken that. But
listen,
mythology was the closest I could get.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I'm super into the Greek gods. Obviously, of course, blending of the Roman and the Greek, but I tried to go just Greek for this one.
Yes, I like that.
But super cool. Certainly something I can get behind. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it there, Stevie?
Well, the ancient Greeks are the ones who were the original myth makers, really.
Yep.
The word even comes from them. Specifically, Plato coined this word mythologia.
Perfect.
Mythologia? Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I like it.
Guys, I have trouble just reading out loud in general. But
oh, you're doing great.
Thank you. Which was used to distinguish between the imaginative accounts of divine actions and the factual descriptions of events, supernatural or otherwise.
Yep.
So we got that from Jacqueline's book, The Encyclopedia of Mythology by Arthur Cotterell.
Yes, and here is the book because now we can show things. So you'll notice...
what happened?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, fun fact, Mose, my wonderful Labrador, when we
Mosey. We love Mosey.
When we got him, he never ruined anything, ever. Never went after things. And I'm going to say probably 6 months into having him, he went for the spine. He just completely destroyed the spine of this book for whatever reason. It was just this. There are a dozen books at his level, and he went for this one and destroyed the spine. And then months and months and months later, came back for the cover. I don't know why. He just
mythology is not his favorite.
Yeah, maybe he was a god. Maybe he's been reincarnated as a dog, and he was like,
maybe
God, dog, god.
Hey, look at
that. Listen, I'm just saying. So
also,
there's my book.
If Merlin were to ever do that to one of my books, girl,
I shudder to think what would happen. Yeah, I lost it.
My books are my babies. Yeah.
Oh man, this book, I love this book. I got it for 18 cents. 5 years ago from one of those random book fairs. But I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it because it's got not only the Greek gods, but it's got Celtic stuff in it too, which I'm sure we'll do an episode
Ooh,
on.
absolutely we
Yeah.
will.
So I was pretty pissed.
And Egyptian.
And Egyptian, have to. But yeah, so that's the book we got. So, So, Stephen, what do you remember or know about the Greek gods? Do you remember specific stories? Which one was like each associated? Do you have a favorite?
Yes. Okay. I mean, there's a lot to it. There's
Yeah.
so many stories.
Yeah.
I think if I try to pick like a favorite, I love me Poseidon.
Oh, yeah.
I love me Hades because like
Sure, of
underworld stuff.
course.
Love that. I just read um The Song of Achilles. Have you read that book?
Oh, no.
It's so good.
Oh, I need
Um,
to.
Gay storyline, Achilles and his lover. It was so good about like Troy, all that fun stuff.
Amazing.
I have yet to read Circe, but that's another one I want to read.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, Greek fun stories and gods, and there's just so much to it.
It's so
Percy
much to it.
Jackson and the Lightning Thief, love that whole
I
thing.
mean, hello, right? And do you like Greek gods today would be like the ultimate reality TV,
Oh my God, yes.
right?
Oh,
Like,
they would get so much drama. They'd get up to so much trouble.
everyone's sleeping with everyone.
Everyone's sleeping with everyone.
There's backstabbing, there's jealousy, there's, to your face, I love you, but I'm actually going to kill your children behind your back.
Bestiality.
Bestiality is absolutely a thing. Like, this would be the most unhinged friggin' reality TV show.
I would absolutely tune in for that.
Hollywood, if you're listening, I expect my check in the mail. Thank you. Right?
Yeah.
Like, seriously,
Yeah.
that God, why don't we add that to the list of things we need to do? Reality TV show obviously we would write it. I mean, all reality TV shows written. Anyway.
Well, yeah.
Back to it. Yeah, okay. So here's what I find interesting, is this book, and most of the other tests. Wow, that was very Irish. Did you catch that?
I did. That was great.
Did you catch that?
Huh?
Jesus. I haven't been there in years, but it is calling to me. What I was saying was what I find interesting about this book and all the other textbooks that we've ever read, or, all the things that we've been taught. The Greeks were like fairly aware that I feel like I'm kind of doing them a disservice because this was legit their religion, but like a lot of them understood that these were like stories, but based out of like truthful events, and looked for like lessons within these specific kinds of stories, which, like,
hot take, people these days should realize things are more stories as well.
I totally
written by
agree.
humans.
I totally agree. Like, that's not to say that like people, they worship these gods, absolutely, but like a lot of the stories, they're like, as time went on and on and on and on and on, the Greeks were like, this was told 1,000,000 years ago, however, like the lessons are around it.
Don't take it as fact.
That's
take
literal
it,
fact.
oh my God.
Exactly. But I mean, in the moment, in the time, people were like legit thinking that there were gods kicking it on this mountaintop. Anyway, but I can get behind that, right? Like, there are lessons in everything we did.
Yes.
And
if
that's
there
why
was
I loved
any sort of gods, goddesses, religion stuff, like this would be a fun one.
Yeah. So what I also thought's really funny, again, I remember learning this, and I remember being like pissed off about it because I was a rebellious young lady. When we were learning that like the Romans, of course, were coming in and trying to like decimate anything to do with Greek. They were like, oh, okay, yeah, we see your gods, but we're just going to copy them and name them something else and make them into ours. And it's like, man, like the Romans were like, nah, that ain't it. Like, we're going to
That is a very common theme with religions, man.
God, right?
Just
so they stole,
take what they want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They stole a lot of the Greek gods and identified many of their own deities, which, like, fine. So sometimes people kind of mix it up in terms of, like a great example is Bacchus and Dionysus.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just thought that was really interesting because, like, of course. Also, can you hear that leaf blower in the background?
That's annoying.
So, party people, really quick, we got time. I live very close to my neighbors. So I apologize that he's just decided to start leaf blowing right on the edge of our property.
I would still rather your area and neighbors than mine.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, perfect. Here we go. So, so the Romans were chastising people who were not following their new made up Roman gods, and anyone who didn't follow them, they were killed. I'm just gonna not sugarcoat it. They were butchered. So hundreds
Killed
potentially
dead.
killed cold dead.
Cold dead.
They ended up butchering like hundreds, potentially thousands of people who worship the gods that they didn't agree with. For example, as I mentioned, Dionysus. Originally the Greek god of fertility, ecstasy, pleasure, sex, wine, insanity, ritual madness, and theater.
Does he here for it? Ooh, I'm in.
People, he sounds
Sign me up.
Honestly, sounds like anyone we meet at Woody's. Like honestly,
exactly.
Am I wrong?
Uh-huh.
Wrong. So the Romans were like, nah, we're going to have an equivalent to this and we're going to call him Bacchus. And he's still going to be a drunk, but he's not going to be as wild. So they tamed the god. Listen, no, give me a good solid Dionysus because.
Yeah.
Right? Don't try and yuck his yum.
No way. We don't do that here.
Right? So, eventually the Romans were like, we can't beat this down. Like there were just too many Greeks, obviously, who were like, no, screw you, man. Like we've been worshiping these gods for eons. We're going to continue to do so. So that's why there are two sets. There's the Roman ones and the Greek ones. We're going to talk about the Greek ones, right?
The Greek ones. I like the Greek ones.
Me too.
Okay, so let's go over the 12 Greek gods and goddesses.
Number one and number two.
One.
Me
right
and Stevie.
Top two.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I loved that. That's done. We're gonna see if we would vibe with them or not.
Yeah.
Totally. So Britannica.com has ranked the gods from 12 to 1. So we're gonna go with that.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Okay. I was also slightly surprised by this one, but of course, I mean, not even back then. What am I trying to say? Like, I don't know why Aphrodite would be number 12.
Right? Like, bringing up the rear is a woman.
That's exactly what I was going with.
Mm-hmm.
Shitty. I love Aphrodite.
Right.
She's the goddess of love, sex, and beauty, procreation and fertility, pleasure, and passion. Like, can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. And stunning. Gorgeous.
Stunning. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh. A direct quote from Britannica.com.
Mm-hmm.
She was said to have emerged from the foam generated when the severed testicles of her father, Uranus. Side note. How do you say that? Because when people are like Uranus or like Uranus. They try to not say anus, I'm like, bitch. I say Uranus.
I've always said Uranus, but yeah, like Uranus is absolutely.
Is that the actual way? Like, how do you actually say it though? Maybe I'm wrong and I'm just a pervert. And I'm like, listen, Uranus.
No, like as kids we always said Uranus, but I'm pretty sure it's Uranus.
Is it Uranus? Okay, yeah, I thought people were just being prudes and not wanting to say the actual way. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah. What happened to the severed testicles?
So, from the foam generated from the severed testicles of her father, Uranus, when they were thrown into the sea by his son, the Titan Kronos. I feel like that whole sentence did not make sense. I got so sidetracked.
Listen, the main point here, the main takeaway is Aphrodite was born when the severed testicles of her dad, Uranus, were thrown into the sea by his son, none other than the Titan Cronus.
Yeah. I got sidetracked by testicles and anuses, so.
Why did I give you this one?
I'm reading it and I'm like, girl?
Okay. Well.
Anyway, that is what happened. She emerged from the foam of severed testicles. I can't. She was a seafaring goddess as well.
Oh,
And it was thought that the ancient Greek prostitutes chose her to worship. Fun fact.
so you're
I feel
telling
that. I
me?
like that.
So you're telling me she was a seaman?
Ayo, she was a seaman. She's a seaman.
It
I
came
love
from
it.
the testicles.
It
Guys, we're
all
5.
tracks.
We're
It all
5 years
tracks.
old. We are 5. Prostitutes chose to worship. Awesome.
Yep.
So big
Do
question.
you think she would sit with us?
I think
she's pretty awesome.
I think she would absolutely sit with us.
However,
yeah.
back when I was in high school, I was not as cool as I am now, guys.
Same.
I also feel like, as much as I love her and would want her to sit with us, I feel like she is the Regina George of the Greek times.
I totally agree.
And yeah,
She would be a bully to us.
She'd be a bully to us. She's a plastic for
Yeah.
sure.
She knows she's hot. She knows she can get it.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
So I'd want her to, but no. We're with the art freaks and nerds at their table. And
100%. Yeah. Well, thanks, Steven, for kicking off the list. That was a tough one to get through, but we did it.
That was a tough one to get through. I'm so sorry.
Oh, God. All right. Well, gods and goddesses. Number 11, Athena, homegirl.
I love Athena.
Goddess of wisdom, reasoning, but also war, but like a thinker about war. You may recall she was born. Why did I write that? You may recall she was born by bursting out of her father's forehead. Who is her father, you ask? Well, we'll get to him later.
Hail.
She's most known for helping out the heroes. So Hercules, Perseus, Jason, and most famously Odysseus, the Greek king of Ithaca, who destroyed Troy and ended up ending the Trojan War. I will say, like, love her, smarts. I think she's way too serious to sit with us.
I think so too. I think you're very right there.
Yeah, she would be like, you know what? These people are not for me. You guys are not logical enough. You're not practical enough. You're not serious. I don't think she would sit with us. I would like to spend more time with her to be a lot more smart and probably patient.
1000%. Yeah.
But I don't think she would want to sit with us.
No. We're way too cool for her. Number 10 is Artemis.
Yes.
Goddess of the hunt, but also of wild animals. Love this. Not the hunting of the wild animals, but, wild animals are my jam. She's always portrayed with a bow and arrow. She could transform into wild animals and control nature. Like this, I can get behind Artemis. 1000%.
Right. Yeah. I feel like you would be Artemis.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
What would happen if she turned into a wild animal and someone hunted her and shot her in the head?
Oh, I never thought of that.
I mean, I guess nothing because she's a god.
Oh, she's a god.
Yeah,
I don't think... Well, I mean, they can die. They have died, but I don't know.
Silly question. Sorry. Stupid question for me to ask. God.
Don't be ridiculous.
Stupid idiot, Jacqueline. Okay, so would we sit with her? Would she sit with us?
I would want her to.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we'd vibe pretty well.
Definitely. Number 9, Ares. Pretty popular guy. Well, I shouldn't say that. Very well known, not popular. God of war. Unlike Athena, this guy is much more likely to just erupt into chaotic violence. He just wants to kill. He just wants to maim. Typical dude. Am I right?
Typical dude.
He just wants blood. The Greeks were not too fond of him at all, but guess who was? The Spartans. But they were said to sacrifice little baby doggies to him.
No, I'm out. He cannot sit with us.
No.
Nope.
Pass. He's out. He's on my shit list.
I don't like that.
Aries,
I also did not know that.
Yeah.
About legit. The doggies.
Terrible.
Oh, that's sad.
Aries, you suck. Go die.
You suck, Aries.
Yeah.
We will not be worshiping you.
No, 0.
Number 8 is Apollo, the most widely revered of the gods.
Revered. Feared and revered, darling.
What did I say? Did I say revered?
That's okay. I could have spelled it wrong.
I love me some Apollo. Apollo is great.
I think he's my favorite. I think he's my favorite.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He communicated the will of his father, the big man who, again, we will get into later.
Yep.
He used oracles to pass his word unto the people. He is the god of truth, prophecy, and future telling, music, the sun, and was also responsible for making us humans feel guilt. Thanks, man. That's horrible. Ugh, I hate the
Hey,
guilt.
I don't love him for that.
I was
Don't
gonna
love
say,
him
and
for
he's your
that.
favorite?
I know, right? Like everything else is so cool. Like he can tell
Everything else is cool.
he's the prophecy. He's got oracles. He is the
Yeah.
god of the sun, for crying out loud. Like I
Yeah.
cherish the sun. I worship it as much as I love the moon. And I'm ooky and spooky. I am governed by the sun, so I can just get. I gotta tell you, I would sit with him. He could sit with us. I really think
I
so.
think so too.
Even though he
Absolutely.
would make me feel tremendous guilt for eating a piece of cake instead of a sandwich for lunch. I think he would sit with us.
I
Definitely.
think he would too.
Yeah. Okay, number 7, Demeter. This is one I always forget about Demeter, which is terrible because she was like the most popular one, and my family would probably vibe with her super hard. Demeter is the goddess of the harvest and agriculture. Can totally get behind this gal because I come from a long list of farmers. Like we were farmers.
There you go.
She was very popular among the Greeks because, of course, they farmed all of their food and they were like, please, please let our crops be okay. So, of course, very, very famous. Also famous because she had a daughter named Persephone, who you probably know.
Yeah.
She was famous in her own right, queen of the underworld after being abducted by Hades to be his bride. Gross move.
Gross move.
But I won't judge you because you like Hades a lot.
I do.
So, Demeter, I would sit with you.
I think I would too. Absolutely.
Yeah, she would bring the...
Also, side note, Persephone, that's like a sick gig. Isn't it like 6 months out of the year she has to go live in the underworld?
Yeah, you're correct. You're absolutely correct.
And be the queen of the underworld?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But then come and do your own thing back above? Like,
but then you gotta put... but then you gotta put out for Hades.
Yeah, but like... Hades, I feel like, is pretty hot.
You think he's hot? We'll have to find out.
I mean,
listen, all of the one thing is that all of the gods and goddesses that we're talking about are hot. Like they're very beautiful,
right? Like Greek gods. They're Greek gods.
They're Greek gods. So listen, I know a couple humans who are Greek gods. You know what I'm saying?
Ew.
Okay.
All that being said, I would put out for Hades.
I don't think anyone is surprised. Anyone listening is like,
probably not.
On track, Steven.
Okay, next, number 6, Dionysus.
Yes.
Who we talked about a bit already. But once again, I mean,
vibes.
God, vibes, girl. God of intoxication, sex, pleasure, and ritual sacrifice.
I'm telling we'd have a great time.
Yes. Great time. Credited with being the maker of wine, so thanks for that, chum. Like, that's good. Love us some wine.
Definitely.
The freer of all inhibitions. Love that. Definitely, in my opinion, the gayest sounding god for sure. Fully support this dude. Get it, girl.
I'm in. Like, seriously. Yeah. I think, you know what? He's taking my number 1 spot, I think. He's my favorite.
Right?
He's got to be my favorite.
I think so too. The more I'm hearing it, I'm like,
I'm telling you.
I can get down with this queen.
Super fun fact as well. You and I are both Tauruses.
Yes.
And what is the sign of Taurus?
A bull.
A bull. This guy is most attributed with the sign or symbolism of the bull because, like, the bulls were sacrificed a lot to him.
Right.
So makes sense.
Well, there you go.
Makes sense.
I love that. Yeah, Dionysus, top of the list.
And number 1. I just did this randomly. I should have given you Hades, but number 5, Hades.
It's fine.
Needs no introduction, but if you're new here, he's the god of the underworld and also the blue-haired angry guy as depicted in Disney's 1997 triumph, Hercules.
Yes.
Love that movie.
Great movie.
Excellent movie. The singing, the dancing, the comedy, Danny DeVito. I mean, what more do you want?
What more do you want?
So Hades oversees the underworld, but important to note, he does not have dominion over the dead. He does not He's not responsible for judging them, and he's not responsible
Yes.
for doling out the punishments. He just makes sure
Yes.
that everyone stays dead in the underworld and they can't get out.
Mm-hmm.
He also has a 3-headed doggy named Cerberus.
Love Cerberus.
Yep. Hades, would you allow Hades? Would you sit with Hades? Would he sit with us? Yeah, definitely.
Wait, hold on. I feel like Hades would be one of the like badass kids that like would be on the like the smoker's corner and just
Definitely.
yeah.
Edgy.
I would want him to, but
kind of
edgy.
scary, but a little sexy and mysterious. Yeah. I'm totally in.
I would be intimidated, and if he sat with us, I wouldn't talk. I'd just be
it
like,
would be frozen.
I don't know what to do.
Everyone would just be like,
yeah,
I totally agree.
Basically, how I get around any hot guy.
I love it. We're gonna post a picture of Hades, and they're gonna be like, "You guys are freaks."
Right, in my mind, he's really hot, but he's probably disgusting, isn't he?
He's not hot in Hercules. He is not hot in Hercules.
He probably looks like Rasputin in like Anastasia when he's in the underworld. It's probably something like that.
Totally.
Next, number 4, we have Hera. Hera? Hera. Yeah. The queen bitch.
Yep.
So she was the queen goddess of Mount Olympus, where the gods reside.
Yep.
She was the sister and wife of Zeus. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah. We won't even go to there.
But again, totally normal.
Totally normal. Yeah. She's the goddess of women, childbirth, and marriage.
Mm-hmm.
She was one vindictive gal, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
She would go after all of Zeus's lovers instead of him. And let me tell you, Zeus had a lot of lovers.
Well, this is right. And so she go after him, man. I mean,
that's my thing. I hate when people cheat and then they go after the others instead of the fucker who's doing it.
Completely agree. Agree. Never understood.
Ridiculous. Never understood.
Oh, Hera. Would we sit with Hera?
I think we would. I don't think she would want to sit with us.
I don't think she would want to sit with us. I think she would think as we were plebes. I also think she would just assume I was going for Zeus. Or you. We were both going for Zeus. And she would be like, you're dead. She'd probably try and kill us.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
Number 3, Hermes, the messenger god.
Hermes.
Also responsible for wealth, luck, trade. Like trade?
Trade.
Trade you and I know.
Season.
Sleep, thieves, and travel. Apparently a jack of all trades, because none of those things really cohesively go together. I guess wealth and luck, but like, sure. He is known as the most clever and sneakiest of the gods, and like we said, their own messenger. But here's the thing. So like, he could mess with everyone. He could be like, girl, you know what Zeus just said about you?
Gossip queen of the gods.
Big
he would
time.
fuck some shit up.
So you know what? For that fact alone, would absolutely sit with him.
1,000%.
He has all of the knowledge, all of the inside tea.
Yeah.
I'd sit with him for sure.
Hermes would have the best confessionals if it was a reality show.
Oh my god, could you imagine? It'd be so good.
And then number 2, one of my faves as well, Poseidon. Most notably as the sea god.
Yep.
But also the god of earthquakes and horses.
Sure.
Interesting combo there. Sea, earthquakes, and horses.
Nailed it. Covering all bases.
Right? Yeah. Just get it all. Poseidon was the father of the winged horse Pegasus, who we had talked about in one of our
Pegasus.
Tandem Rangens. This actually came out today.
Yep.
Not when you're listening to this, though.
Yeah, not at time of recording.
Poseidon was mothered. Wait, Pegasus or was mothered by Medusa?
Pegasus. So Medusa and Poseidon made Pegasus.
Birthed Pegasus.
That's crazy, right?
Pegasus was my favorite character in Hercules, also.
Big time.
Movie. Absolutely.
Love.
Yeah. Love. He was also the father of the Cyclops. Had a lot of children that weren't exactly human.
Yeah.
Little.
We're not judging.
Baby weirdos. We're not judging.
We're not judging.
We love a good weirdo here.
Yeah.
obviously Poseidon wields the mighty Triton.
Yes, which is just so badass in itself. Like, that's pretty cool.
Right? Love that. Basically, I feel like King Triton, Ariel's dad, was based off Poseidon.
Yeah, definitely. 1,000%, right?
1,000%.
And number one, the big man himself, Zeus.
Zeus.
Father
Good old Zeus.
of these gods, keeper of these gods. Not all of them. Brothers with Poseidon and Hades.
Hades.
But the sky and thunder god, he was the son of Kronos, the ruler of the Titans. And Zeus actually overthrew him with the help of his brothers Hades and Poseidon, and thus gifted both of these guys. Like, Zeus was like, I'm gonna take over what they called heaven, Mount Olympus, and be in charge of all of the gods. Hades, you're gonna get the underworld, and Poseidon, you're gonna get the ocean and the land. So that's how that shook out. Ruler of all the gods and men. So like, everyone feared him, whether you were god or a mortal. Everyone worshipped Zeus, and had a bunch of lovers. Like, I'm not even going to list them off. Everyone.
Yeah.
He was just doing everyone and everything. Like, this is weird. So Aphrodite is one of his daughters, but he also turned into a horse and then had relations with Aphrodite as a horse.
It's creepy, man. They did some weird shit then.
Greek gods, man.
Greek gods. Am I right? I feel like Zeus would be the like jock of the school. The like douchebag
totally. 100%. Yeah, that's
wouldn't
the thing.
sit with us.
No,
wouldn't want him to sit with us.
No, I wouldn't want to sit with Zeus. I would stay away from him.
Yeah.
As far as possible, and just like wide berth at all times, because like you would be hit in the head with like an egg or a shoe or something.
Yeah.
Obviously a lightning bolt, a thunderbolt, if you will.
There you go. Yeah. Right? It's true.
So so that's the Greeks. That's
the Greeks. The top 12 right there. Greek gods are wild, man.
Man.
Just crazy. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
There was no loyalty anywhere among them. Everyone having affairs with each other. Animals in some cases. They were jealous of each other. They fought amongst each other or took it out on the poor ancient Greeks. Like, those poor humans, man.
Those poor humans.
They literally worshiped them every single day. And these gods fucked their shit up.
Seriously. Could you imagine? Like, these little plebes just being like, I just want to harvest my wheat. You know? I just want to make this wheel. I just want to birth the entire civilization of the world. Right? Fair enough?
Yeah. Fair enough.
Having said that, though, like, while I don't fully support any religion of any sort, of any kind,
fair.
This is totally something I could get into, and I think that's why I liked it so much. Right? Like, we talked about. They just
sound like they are having a fun, gay old time.
A gay old time.
Here for it. Yeah.
And entertaining. If nothing else, it would be very entertaining.
Yes,
very
absolutely.
entertaining. And yeah, it's just, there are so many other, gods, if you will, that had smaller parts to play, but these were the main 12. Like Andromeda.
Yes, these are the top.
Exactly, right? Like, but we have to have an ending somewhere. So, okay, final question. How are we for time? Is it giving you a warning? Okay, great.
33. No warning yet. We're trying this new system,
this new thing, guys.
We're seeing what happens.
So we know who our favorites are. We know who we would sit with. Who would you be? Who would you want to be?
Oh.
Right?
I mean, probably Dionysus.
Yeah, I totally agree. It just sounds like he has like the most fun.
Absolutely.
That would be my answer. Or maybe no, I don't want to be Aphrodite and get done by a horse. I just don't.
No, not here for that. Artemis, maybe.
Artemis
would be
cool.
A good one.
Artemis would be cool. Apollo would be really cool to be. Things are getting off the rails when we start talking about
the rails,
right? So, might as well end it there, Steve.
I'm here for it. Yeah, that was a good one. We covered a lot there.
We covered all the gods. Party people, if you want to write in and let us know what gods and goddesses you would want to be, please do so.
Let us know. Come party with
Come party with
Dionysus.
Seriously, he would be a vibe. He
It's
he
such a vibe.
he would be the headlining act at all prides
Oh,
across the
yeah.
globe. Across the
Oh,
globe.
yeah. I'm in.
All right. So, thank you so much for listening to the Weirdos of Whimsy. We will be back again soon with another episode that guides you through the weird and whimsical journey that is our brains. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Weirdos of Whimsy Pod. Watch that space for updates and release dates and other treats and delectable morsels. Say goodbye, Stephen.
Bye, everybody.
And as always, big gulps, eh? Well, see you later.
See you later.
Terrible.
Ah.